I've had several people ask me lately, what are specifically the steps of the morning ritual that I do? And, it's pretty simple: water, walk, breathe. So I'm going to talk through it on this video and actually show you exactly what I do, just to show you how simple it is. So I'm going to talk through it first, and then I'm actually going to do the morning ritual. So first thing is drink water on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. Next step is go for a 5-minute walk. Then we do breathing exercises, and we breathe. I'll show you what they are. We breathe, and then we want to touch the earth. So we connect with the electromagnetic field of the earth, and then connect into the emotions that we want to have more of: gratitude, love, abundance, purpose. And if there's anything specifically we want to create, if we want to intentionally visualize and create things into our life, we practice that it's already here and that it's done, and that we're in the satisfaction of it being done. Now, if you do this simple morning ritual every day for about 30 days, you'll become addicted to it, and you'll just do it for the rest of your life. And the reason for that is because you will feel the contrast of how you feel when you have done it versus when you haven't done it. And when things get off track, you'll be able to look at yourself in tracking your body and go, oh wait, what? Well, why are things not feeling great? Oh, I haven't been doing my morning ritual. So it's a beautiful gift that once you apply it, it becomes your friend. So I like to put a jar of spring water next to my bed. That's the first step of the morning ritual. You can drink however much of this you want. And then I start my walk. Now, I live in a place where it's not always nice, like today. And so in the wintertime, people ask me that all the time. I bundle up and I go on a very short walk. Now, you're going to probably be surprised at how short the walk actually is. And the reason for that is because if I say it's going to be a 20-minute walk or a 30-minute walk, I usually won't do it. But if I say it's going to be a 5-minute walk, I work it in. I can generally get this ritual done in between 7 and 10 minutes. And so as I start to walk, this is where I start to move through my joints, so that anytime you fully extend or contract a joint in your body, it releases endorphins. It fires the feel-good chemicals. So as I start to walk, even though I look a little freakish, I start to move through my joints, and I'm stretching and tilting. I'm kind of over-exaggerating my steps because I want to move through my hips and shoulders. And this is where I start to do the slow breathing. You want to feel yourself in all the different places as you're doing this. Look around at the big, big world. Gets you out of your head. Gets the left and right sides of the brain communicating with each other. Starts to resolve the challenges of the day before you even face into them. So the walk is about the left and right sides. It's about moving through the joints. It's about starting the blood flow. Now, I'm arriving to the place where I walk, so I spent a couple of minutes. Like I said, it's really a 5-minute walk. So I come over to this spot. I've got a nice little nature spot over here. You can do this anywhere. You can do this, sometimes kind of depending where I am. I do this in hotels, or I'll do this in airports, or I'll do it anywhere. So it just happens to be I have a nice nature spot with some water, and I like to come over here. But you can really do this pretty much anywhere. It's funny, my self-conscious element kicks in because one of my neighbors is out watching me right now. So this is actually good for me, because it is a little weird the way that I roll with this. So when I get to the place, wherever that's going to be, I like to put my feet on the earth, right? So connecting into the electromagnetic field of the earth. Now, during the cold times, I will either have a stack of leaves. So I do this in my backyard because leaves insulate from snow. And so I'll throw the leaves down, I'll put my feet on the leaves. But if that's too intense, I'll grab a hold of the branches of a tree, because it does the same thing. We're connecting to the electromagnetic field. We are an energy field. We are this electromagnetic force, and so it helps us to be in that. I'm actually going to hang this on the tree right here, so I do my breathing. So now that I've connected into the earth and I'm looking in the direction of the rising sun, now there's if we can see the colored sky, that's the best. That's when the UV lights are bending, and they're going to come in through our eyes, and it's going to charge up the energy in our cells. And there's all kinds of interesting studies on this about looking at the sunrise. Don't stare straight at the sun if it hurts your eyes, but looking at that sunrise, it allows you to it charges up the energy in your cells, and your body creates way more energy. I'm going to see if I can get this right here. And we're going to Maybe if they edit this piece out. All right. Okay, so now we're going to get into the breathing part of this. It's pretty simple. We're going to do 20 breaths. We're going to gulp the air in through our mouth. It's going to go. So we're going to do 20 big breaths like that. Do them at whatever pace you want. And the point is to over-oxygenate the system. So here we go. And I like to move my body like an accordion, like really pull this air in and out. And you probably get lightheaded. So you might want to do this seated at the beginning. I have passed out a couple of times doing this, but only during the breath hold, not during the breathing part of it. And obviously don't do this while you're driving. We're going to get lightheaded here. Here we go. One other thing I'll say, for people who this breathing's a little bit too intense for, there's another form of breathing that we can do where we breathe in through the nose. This Andrew Weil came up with this one. I don't know if he kind of came up with it, but he taught it. In through the nose for 4, hold it for 7, out through the mouth for 8. So it goes like. So you can do that also. So do a round of several of those. But for my breathing, I want to get pretty high in the morning. So here's how we're going to do it. 20 breaths. Now, sometimes I'll do like a bonus round of 10 really, really fast breaths like this. Now we come to the next step, which is the breath hold. So you take in a breath, and you're going to hold it for as long as you can. I mentioned I like to be seated for the breath hold. When you start to feel the need to breathe, what I like to do is I'll start to shake. Just shake your body. And then you exhale like a snake. Now you get to the bottom where there's no air. You'll want to try to hold your breath for 10 seconds while you shake. That should be the hardest thing you've done today. And you're going to box breathe. In through the nose for 4. Hold it for 4. Out through the mouth for 4. Calm your system really fast. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Okay, one more round of that. The whole point is just to calm it back down. Okay, now your system is at reset. Your emotions are going to be neutral. This is the place where we get to create the energy we want to feel in our life. And the challenge most people do is they try to create from a negative emotion, they try to create a positive emotion. So they'll try to go from stress from gratitude. It doesn't work that way. So what we do is we neutralize it in our system first by doing the breathing. Then we can tune into the things we want. And the easiest way to do that is to recall a moment when we felt that emotion in the past. So we just recall a moment when we felt gratitude. And we're not trying to feel some like level 10 giant emotion. We're wanting to feel something that is just like, it's like plucking a guitar string inside of our body. We feel just a little twinge of that emotion. That's all we need to do. And then that's firing the neural pathway in our brain. It's releasing the chemicals of that emotion into our body. So recall a moment when you felt gratitude. And then cause it to ping in your body and then make the sound of the gratitude. For me, it's like, it's like a closed mouth kind of sound. You make yours however you make it. That just is how it just happened in my body. So that's the sound I want to make. Then we tune into, then breathe in that gratitude. Then we tune into recalling a moment when we felt loved. This could be we did something loving. It could be someone did something loving for us. It could be for someone who's passed. It could be for a pet. It could be anything. I have a moment that I recall with my grandfather, and it's a really easy way for me to access feeling really, really loved in that moment. And then breathe in that love and let out the sound of the love. The next one is the feeling of abundance, the feeling that there's plenty in this moment. And the way that I practice that one is I recall a moment when I received money. And the sensation of receiving that money was a feeling of relief. It was like that money came in and I went, oh, I'm good. Oh, yay, I'm good. I'm okay. That's that actual feeling of I have plenty. So practice that feeling, let out that sound of that relief. And then the other one is purpose. Now, purpose is this idea. It's often based in shame. Like we do a comparison of ourselves and go, well, that person on Instagram, they're way more on purpose than me. But really, it's a story we make up in ourselves that says my life is on track in this moment. And so if we can consider that everything in our life, every breath, every decision, every interaction led to this moment right here where I'm feeling gratitude and love, and I feel like there's plenty, and I'm feeling like in this moment that I'm right on time for this moment because I'm in the present and I know I'm present and I'm feeling good in the present moment. I don't have to feel good to be on purpose, but in this moment I am, and that feels good. So I can say that I'm right on time for now. And there's a relaxing in my system when that happens. There's like something, some tension lets go. So I contemplate that and I go, right on time for now. And lets me just drop in and be in this moment. Now, this is where I then do the visualization of the things I want to create. Some of you know my wife, Bree. She has a way of doing this that's really cool, which is totally different than how I do it. So I'm going to explain both processes. The idea is to feel the feeling of the thing that you want, like it's here in your life right now. Right? So we just felt gratitude, we felt love, we felt abundance, we felt on purpose. But when we think about our broader life and the things that we're creating, the experiences we're having, and she likes to tune into this sensation in her body of like super playfulness and it's kind of, the way she describes it is like feeling like she is living an adventure that feels really yummy and fun and playful and easy. And so she'll find that sensation, however that feels to you. She'll tune into that in her body in this moment right now, and she'll go, Now, if you think about what the sound is when we're satisfied, the sound of satisfaction, the sound of creation, that it's here right now, is the sound of awe. So if you eat a delicious meal, then you go, right? If we make love, then we're in that place of satisfaction, we go, So the awe sound is the sound of creation. So when we're making that sound, we're making the sound that it's already done. Our body is then resonating of this is done. So we think about this thing, right? So in this way, in Bree's case, you think about like that right now, the universe is conspiring to make life this incredible, beautiful, wonderful adventure. And it's right on time, and it's curious and clever and interesting and rewarding and playful. And so she tunes into that. I'll tune into it too. And then when you find that sensation, whatever the sensation is you're wanting to create more of, then you go, and you vibrate at that resonance that it's already alive in you, because you're being the person that has that sensation in your body. Now, the way I do this, and I started doing this 25 years ago, the first things I did, I wanted to manifest into my life a certain kind of house. And so I did this meditation for about 5 months and then found the house. And it came together, really pretty easily. And so what I like to do is I think about the things I'm creating, and I like to think about them as they're done. So for example, I've got some courses that I'm creating, and I don't like to think about it like in terms of a checklist. Oh, I got to record this content. I got to have an editor do this. I got to do all these things. I like to think of it as it's already done. The marketing already worked. The people that feel attracted to it are already consuming it, and they're already getting amazing results in their life, and they're super grateful. And I get to be in the gratitude of like the satisfaction of something already created. So instead of like, I did this with a house that I built. I could see all the steps of the house. I had the house planned, but I went to the place of, oh, it's already done. And I get to enjoy it, and I get to be in it, and I get to have friends over, and I get to have my family in it. I get to feel the satisfaction, because what we're practicing is not that we're almost there or that we're going to do it. We're practicing the feeling of what we want when it's done. And there's two benefits to this. Benefit number one is, in the moment right now, we get to actually experience the thing we want, which is a fascinating thing of going, whoa, the things I want, I can actually get right now, because I want a sensation. Right? I want to have that thing done so that I feel a certain way. I want to have that connection so I feel a certain way. I want to have my body a certain way so I feel a certain way. And we practice that right now, that it's already here. And we do it with gratitude. Like, oh, wow, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a totally different kind of a prayer. I was brought up to pray like I was drowning. Like, okay, God, please help me, please, I'm drowning, help me, rescue me. And I think this is actually a prayer of faith, of going, I'm just going to practice that this is actually real in my body, and then it's done, and then I'm in like profound awe and wonder and gratitude and humility of like, wow, thank you that this is in my life, yay. It's a whole different frequency. So we play this note in our body so that this is what starts to become real. So the first benefit is we get to feel it now. We don't have to go do something or have something or be something. We get to experience it now. Second benefit to this is that we start to go into the world as the person who already has this. So we start to interact with other people as the person who's has this energy field that we already have the thing. And that creates attraction towards that thing in our life. We start to act that way, and we start to think that way, and we start to behave that way. We start to interact with other people that way. And life has a beautiful way of synchronistically lining things up for that to then become our reality. It's a really beautiful process. So what I like to do is I'll think about like, this program that I'm creating, for example, and I will go into the place of going, oh, okay, how does it feel when I see these people experiencing it, and I get to witness their gratitude, and I get to witness the breakthroughs in their life, the improvement in their life, and that feels really satisfying to me. So when I land in the satisfaction, then I go, So sometimes I do the all like a big sigh, and sometimes I kind of sing it. It depends on how you want to do it. Then I'll think about like, what do I want to experience in my body? So I think about energy and vitality and strength and feeling alive and feeling joyful, and I'll go, I'll tune in like it's already here in me. Sometimes I'll do this for my kids, I'll do it for my relationship. So I'll see some outcome in the relationship. If I'm in a place of tension or in a fight or something, then I'll not try to resolve the fight. I'll try to go to, what do I want to feel here? How do I want this to be? I started to do this in like stuff that, particularly around sex and money for me, because those were always things where no matter how much money or how much sex I had, I always kind of had this like, I need more of that. I want more of that. So I started to practice this sensation of, I already have, like how would it feel if I already had more than enough money that I could ever spend? And then I just felt relaxed about it. Money wasn't this big thing because it was something I just had access to. Kind of this idea of like, let's say that I was the heir to fortune, and I had this caring, mother figure or father figure who was just like wanting me to experience really cool things. And so then life was just set up for me to manifest and experience anything that I wanted, and whatever I chose, there was a love there that was so vast that there was nowhere I could ever go that I could escape that love. And if that was what I was playing, and that really it was just about clean, like this is like canvas to paint on, of like, what would I like to experience? And this loving character, that was there, that I could just go, oh, I kind of think I want to experience love today. I want to experience gratitude today. I want to experience abundance today. I want to experience this idea. So if that was my feeling about money, I would go into a place of like, so nice. I don't have to think about that thing that, yeah, that's it. I don't want to go into even the negative thoughts I used to have about money. It's like so nice. I get to just focus on what I want to create. And then from a standpoint of like a spiritual purpose standpoint, I was kind of brought up in the scarcity idea of, I've got to do stuff, and I've got to accomplish something. I've got to prove myself to the divine. I've got to do something in my life in order to measure up, or in order to be important. Instead of that, then I like to go into, what if I already had done all that, and I'd already accomplished, if there was something to accomplish for my spiritual purpose, that was already done, and that I was just in the now moment, and just listening, just tuning in, and just playing a part of a dance in playfulness and in ease and in gratitude, and that the universe was right on time, that everything's okay, and that I just get to like be part of this mystery, and it's fun, and it's beautiful. So then I go into that in myself from a spiritual standpoint. And once I feel it, I don't do the awe until I feel the sensation. So this one's interesting. It's taking me a minute. If I can't get to it, I won't do it. So I'm actually going to change it. That one I can't find right now. So this is interesting. I'm glad that came up that way. So then I go into this place of like life today being really fun and satisfying and a beautiful place to be alive. Like I get to enjoy the experience of being alive today. And I can feel that one already. So then I just go, I look in the direction of the rising sun when I do this, and I go, So I do a few of those, kind of depending on how much time I have and what I'm feeling in my body. And that process usually, the walk is like 2 minutes, and the breathing takes about a minute and a half. The breath holds about a minute. The shaking and the rest of it's another minute or so. And then, I have my feet on the earth, and I will tune into the gratitude, the love, the abundance, and the purpose. And then I'll just take a moment and think through what it is I'm intentionally creating that day. Sometimes it's tangible things, like I'll need to have a connection with someone, like some kind of business situation. I've done this for years. When I wanted to call in a new client into my coaching business, my one-on-one coaching, I would tune into the offering that I'm making in my body. Like, what is this? Who am I going to be? What stand am I going to take for this person? And when I find that in me, then I will imagine that person who's looking for the very specific thing that I'm offering, and that they're like really committed to doing it, that our energy fields are going to find each other, and it's going to be easy. And this is how I've kept my coaching programs as full as I want them to be for years. So it can be any of those things. And then, I finish up the other part of the walk, and I'm walking in the world as the person that already has all these, alive and feeling good and feeling blessed. And it just takes, I can do that in the whole thing in between 7 and 11 minutes. And then this is the second half of the walk. So I hope this is helpful for you and actually showing you the granular elements of it. And go out there and create this as a super positive addiction in your life.